Hey, good, what is it, noon or is it lunchtime? Not, not sure. But guys, hope you guys are having a great Saturday so far. This is Coach Bill with Fat Loss Made Easy. And today's topic, guys, is a topic that we get asked all the time. Not only from people to gyms who know us, Emily and I, because we're on the senior package, Medicare, we actually get our insurance pays for all the different gyms we go to. So obviously we like to go to different gyms and we like to, just to change the scenery a little bit, meet new people at these other gyms. And we've been doing this for a few years now. So people are now getting to know us more, and so they're actually coming up to us more often now and asking us questions on what we're doing and how we're able to lean down the way we have and being at the age we are. So they have questions. And we're pretty focused when we're exercising, and most of them know that. So normally they wait until we're done. But sometimes they don't know, and they'll ask us. And I'll take a little bit of time and I'll explain to them just briefly what we're doing. But one of the questions that gets asked to us a lot is when intermittent fasting, how do you guys make it through these longer fasts? How do you guys do a 24-hour fast or a 42-hour fast? Emily just came off of a 48-hour fast, and the comment she made to one of our kids was, it was a piece of cake. It was no big deal. Now, understand, guys, that Emily and I both have been doing this for a while, and we are very well deep in fat adaptation, which means that our body is primarily using fat as its main energy source, and we're doing a high-fat, low-carb meal. So we've pretty much conditioned our bodies to get away from burning carbohydrates as our main source of fuel to actually burning fat, which is what your body prefers to do, as its main source of fuel. And we're very well deeply adapted. We're also ketone adapted, which is another energy source. When you go into fasting, your body produces ketones, and that's a huge benefit when fasting, especially when you're going longer, because that's a good source of energy for the brain and to keep control of hormones that are known to cause you to have appetites. And so there is a process going through this. Those of you that follow me know that. It all boils down to how to balance your hormones, what goes in your mouth, the types of food that you eat, and of course, when you eat. But on this topic here, one of the biggest issues, or one of the biggest questions I'm seeing on these group sites that I belong to, is people aren't really that well educated, and it seems like the trainers who are having their clients do intermittent fasting or alternate day fasting, which is what we follow. They're not really educating them on different issues that will most likely come up and how to actually address those issues. And so when you're doing intermittent fasting, you're just starting out, most of you will probably go through what we call hunger waves. And sometimes that could be pretty brutal. And so it's very uncomfortable, and it makes the process not so much fun. But you know what? There is a way to prevent those hunger waves. And if one does come about, you really need to understand why you got that hunger wave in the first place. So, the topic, when intermittent fasting, is hydration and electrolytes important? Absolutely. Because most likely, that's the root cause of why you got the hunger wave in the first place. It's not because you're hungry, guys. That's not it. And I mean, there's science is even showing that. But what it is there's a couple of things that happen when you're doing your longer fasting. Even if you're only doing a 20-hour fast or an 18-hour fast, there's a couple things that happen. Number one, you're dehydrated. Number two, your electrolytes are imbalanced. Okay, coach, what's the tip? What's your tip here? Well, my tip is understanding that dehydration and imbalanced hormones could be your issue, and most likely is. So understand why you get dehydrated and why you flush out your electrolytes. Well, your kidneys during intermittent fasting, or even during, especially when you're doing a 20-hour fast or a 24-hour fast, or we do 42-hour fasts on Tuesdays. When you're going through those longer fasting, you'll notice that you're urinating more often during those fasting times, in that fasting time. And that's because your kidneys are flushing out all the excess water in your body. Now, when your kidneys are flushing out all that excess water, what else is flushing out? All your minerals, all your electrolytes. So if you're not replacing that water, or if you're not replacing that electrolyte during your fasting period, then that is what's going to activate certain hormones and causing you to have hunger waves. Well, coach, what happens? What do you do when this happens? What's the solution? Well, the solution is very simple. It really is. And all my clients will come back to me once they go through this hunger wave. When they have done the solution, they come back to me and they say, well, coach, that works pretty good. You're not hungry, guys. When you're doing intermittent fasting or prolonged fasting, and you've been on a high good dietary fat and low carb meal plan for a couple weeks, and you're getting yourself acclimated to actually, your body actually understands that burning fat is much, much better for it. And then you introduce intermittent fasting and longer fastings to your plan, then your body is already adapted to burning fat. So when you're doing intermittent fasting or a longer fast, your body is not starving because it already understands that you have plenty of good food sitting in those fat stores, and your body is already acclimated to burning fat, so it's going to take the fat out of your stored fat, and there's plenty of food, and it's going to convert that into ketones. And that's your energy to get you throughout the day, and actually you're going to feel much, much better. But the problem is you've got to hydrate when you're doing either an intermittent fast or longer fast, especially if you're doing a longer fast. You've got to hydrate. And you also got to add electrolytes or minerals to your water that you're hydrating with to replace the electrolytes, so you no longer are imbalanced. That is what's going to keep you from sabotaging and eating before your fasting time is up. This is what we have our clients do. We have them drinking at least 100 to 120 ounces of a good source of drinking water actually every day. Now, Emily and I have been drinking molecular hydrogen H2 that's in hydrogen-rich water for the last 12 years. Matter of fact, a lot of my friends and family members have been doing it for the last 12, 13 years also. And so in molecular hydrogen H2, or hydrogen-rich water, you have a ton of trace minerals. So with every glass of hydrogen-rich water you're drinking, you're also drinking and replacing a ton of your trace minerals. Now, we also add to our glass of water 1 or 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, which is, we all know, potassium. And we also add a 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt, which is minerals. And so we might have, during a longer fast, when we're doing a 42-hour or 48-hour fast or a 24-hour fast, I might have a big glass of water with my apple cider vinegar and a quarter teaspoon of sea salt 3 to 4 times per day. I always have it about 2 hours before I go to bed, because apple cider vinegar is known by science as a thermogenic, so it's going to help me burn fat between the sheets while I'm sleeping. But the main concern is during your intermittent fasting or your longer fasting, you have to stay hydrated, because you are flushing out more water through your kidneys, and along with that goes your minerals. And so if you're not doing it correctly and doing enough, then you are going to get those hunger waves. And again, it's not because you're hungry, you're dehydrated. That's the key. That's the fact. So during your fasting, make sure you try to drink at least 100 to 120 ounces of good source of drinking water, and then adding your quarter teaspoon of Himalayan sea salt. Now, for us, we have, Emily and I would carry around a 32-ounce drinking water if we leave the house. And in that 32-ounce drinking water, we will put 3/4 teaspoons of pink Himalayan sea salt, and we'll sip on that while we're out. We also do that while we're exercising. We're sipping on 32 ounces of hydrogen-rich water, and then like today is my 20-hour fasting day, so we worked out at 10 o'clock. We got done about 11:30. Matter of fact, I just got in now, and I had a big glass of hydrogen-rich water. I had 1 tablespoon of my apple cider vinegar, and then I had a quarter teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt to replace the water I'm losing through my kidneys through urination and the minerals. So we don't get those hunger waves very often, and if we do, we always know that by drinking a big glass of water with my apple cider vinegar and my sea salt is going to knock that hormone that's sending a signal to my brain that I need to eat when I don't need to eat. I just need more water. You see what I'm getting at here? So that's how you're going to be able to combat those little hunger waves that you might be getting when you're first starting out doing intermittent fasting, and when you first start doing your longer fastings. That's how you're going to be able to be successful and get the most out of that body fat, or that fat burning environment when you're fasting. You're going to get the most out of it because it does not break a fast. So apple cider vinegar and the pink sea salt and the water will not break the fast, so don't worry about that. You're not going to sabotage anything. It's just going to keep you from not quitting too soon. Remember, for every hour you're fasting, what are you doing? You're burning your own stored body fat. You haven't eaten any calories for hours, so obviously there's no food or no glycogen left in your muscle to be converted into glucose to be used as energy. Your glycogen stores and your carbohydrate or glucose storage is depleted. There's no more glucose in there for your body to go after. So where does it have to go to get energy to keep you going throughout the day? Right to your stored body fat. And like I said, guys, most of you got plenty of food sitting there waiting to be used for energy. Okay? So that's my Saturday tip for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys are going to have a rest of a great Saturday. You guys have a great day. See you in the next video.